My name is Grace Nichols, and this is my persuasive speech. By raising hands, how many of you guys get 9.5 hours sleep at night? Now by raising hands, how many of you wish you could get 9.5 hours sleep at night? As most kids would. What if I told you you could get that amount of sleep and still attend a full day of school? According to nationwidechildren's.org, a teenager only gets about 7 hours of sleep. Pushing back school time could help this tremendously. I've talked to many students throughout my school who struggle to manage sleep and school at the same time. I've also talked to administrators who see kids struggling from lack of sleep. Today I would like to discuss the problems schools have with kids managing sleep in school, a simple time-changing solution, and explain benefits. Let's start by discussing the problem. The problem is simple. Kids are getting enough sleep to be fully focused and awake, and in Tipton's case, at 8:15 in the morning. At Tipton High School, since the beginning of the year, on A days, which are Mondays and Wednesdays, there have been 38 unexcused tardies. On B days, which are Tuesdays and Thursdays, there have been 44. According to sleepdoctor.com, there are only 15% of kids who get the right recommended amount of sleep, which leaves 85% who get less than 8.5 hours of sleep. I have this visual here. It's a little hard to see, so I'll read it to you guys. It says teens need 8.5 to 9.25 hours of sleep each night. 2/3 of high school students get less than 7 hours of sleep. 43% of U.S. public high schools start before 8 a.m. and 33% of teenagers report falling asleep in school. When students don't get enough sleep by either staying up late doing homework or they're in extracurricular activities, they aren't fully awake, which can affect many things, such as learning and academic performance, behavior and mood, lowering grades, do worse on tests, and even affect your health like depression. Now for a possible solution to this problem. There's also a very easy solution by starting school later in the morning. Right now, Tipton starts at 8:15 and goes to 3:15. We could easily push that back to 9 or even later, which would only push the when school ended till about 4 or even later than that. The only thing that this would affect was practices for the extracurricular activities, which could easily be moved back along with school. There are 46 states in the U.S. who have tried and succeeded with this. Caleb Wallstrom from the University of Minnesota has been doing research on small schools and big cities and small cities for schools who have been starting later. One is the Minneapolis School District, which affects 12,000 high schoolers. They originally started at 7:20 and moved it back to 8:40. Teachers reported less depression, the students were more alert and ready to learn, and the parents said the students were easier to live with because they weren't so tired and grumpy all the time. There's a decrease in the number of students who dropped out or moved to a different school. It worked in many districts, which means starting only 45 minutes later here could help. Moving on to some benefits that come from this solution. Like anything, there are many benefits. Starting only 45 minutes later, the students could be fully focused on getting the job done in school, they could fully learn, and closer to the right amount of sleep. Students wouldn't be dozing off in class as much, grades would be going up, and moods would be more positive, and they would also want more interest in school. We could knock the amount of tardies in the school way down, and the percentage higher for kids with the right amount of sleep could go up. Think in your heads right now, during the night, when you guys are all doing your homework, and you're all stressed out, and you're dreading to go to school when you wake up in the morning. With this solution, instead you can wake up in the morning, refreshed, ready to go, fully awake and focused. So in conclusion, today we talked about problems of students not getting enough sleep to be fully focused in school, a simple solution starting at 9 or even later, and some benefits. Every person here in this room is affected. Hopefully you weren't falling asleep during my speech, but if you were, this solution can maybe help you with getting a little extra sleep. So with that being said, get this idea out there. Talk with family, friends, classmates, teachers, school board members, anyone. Whoever you can to make us teenagers at Tipton High School healthier and happier.